welcome into Game Static episode 74. My name is Alex Light with Sparky3. Hopefully you're having an incredible day today, whatever day you are listening or perhaps watching this podcast episode on YouTube channel, youtube.com/Sparky3. Join with me as always. I got both the boys here. I got Zach and John. How you boys feeling this wonderful Saturday?
I'm doing good. Can't complain.
Right
End
on.
of January.
True.
Going into our wonderful month of February.
Big true. We got a lot of good stuff to get excited for. I mean, you got like Dynasty Warriors. We're both picking up Sifu, so that's going to be some good shit there. John, how you feeling? Got Lost Ark coming soon for you.
Yeah, it's been a pretty good weekend so far, and like you were saying, February is going to be a good month.
It is. Very, very good month between Lost Ark for you, Dynasty Warriors, Sifu for all three of us, Horizon for me. It's going to be a good time.
You know, the other day I was looking at the releases and Life is Strange Remastered also comes out in February.
Yep.
And I was thinking about that. I was like, Life is Strange is coming out. I was like, I should message Alex. Ask if he wants to have date night in Sifu.
Let's do it. Let's have date night in Sifu. That sounds fun. We can have a triple date. It'll be great. John, you want to join in with us? Have a triple date, Sifu?
I'll probably be on more seafood than you, man.
That is actually probably accurate.
Yeah, I should probably be asking John. But.
Yeah. I mean, I'm getting it literally that day it comes out on Tuesday, but I do have to record Terrible Football Show that day, of course. So, I mean, it'll be pretty late in that day before I finally can hop on. But, I mean, I'll be playing it that week. I am excited. My excitement has just continued to grow for that game. You know, it really has because it just looks great.
I mean, I was hyped for it as soon as I saw what it was.
Yeah, I remember you talked about on their show where you were just like, now that I actually know what it is, I am completely okay with this game.
Yes.
It does look really good. All right, so it's time. We can finally talk about our big announcement. I'll go ahead and kind of turn the music down here. So if you did not check it out on our YouTube channel yesterday, I did put up a video detailing the announcement that we've been teasing for a while now. We have officially launched our first website. Sparky3.com is now live. You can check it out in the description down below. It is going to be like the central source for all of our content. Routing you to the front page has all the featured series. We'll continue to add to that as time goes on, depending on what we have going on at that time. Latest videos, blog posts, etc. Links page, different pages taking you to Game Static and like Animan Plus being two prime examples that have like multiple breakoffs of clips, shorts, news, whatever. So it is literally the central source for everything here at Sparky3. With that as well, the website we've been working on for about probably a month now, I would say, is probably about accurate. But we also launched something else alongside of it. We actually have a merch store. I actually have one of the shirts here with me for Game Static. So shout out to that. Sparky3shop.com is live as well. And to celebrate the launch of the website and the launch of the merch store for the first 7 days, you can use promo code LAUNCH and get 25% off everything in the store. So shout out to that. Make sure to show some support. The shop is very bare right now. I will be upfront. It is literally maybe a week old, I think.
Yes.
That is a very new thing that just kind of popped up. So we have the Game Static logo on various things. John, I'll get you a fanny pack. I got you. We can get Animan Plus stuff on various. Yeah, no problem, man. Animan Plus logo on various things. There's a couple of pieces of art from Josh over Animan Plus, and there will be a Terrible Football Show coming. Nothing for a Terrible Football Show yet. It is coming soon. We'll talk about that later on. But this is a super exciting time for us. When it comes to supporting us, we're still going to continue to push, subscribing to the YouTube channel, liking, comment, subscribing, whatever, right? But we're also going to be pushing the website quite a bit because with the website, you can sign up for free, and it's free forever. Sign up to the website, collect badges. If you signed up day one of the website, you can get the day one badge showing you've been there since the beginning, which is really cool. And you get more badges depending on what post you check out. Different blog posting, be able to comment on said post, etc. I mean, the free, like I said, is free, straight to the point, email notifications of whenever we put stuff up. But then we also have a premium tier for $5 a month. Various things come with a premium tier, such as most notably early podcast episodes. So for if you're watching this video or listening to this podcast episode on Tuesday or after, just know that this episode was on the website Monday evening. I mean, this episode was early, and that's how it's going to be for every episode going forward. How early? The bare minimum, I'm going to say, is probably 12 hours early. But I know in Animan Plus and Game Static's case, shit, those can probably be at least almost over a full day early, just because we have a 3-day turnaround on those. Terrible Football Show, that's where it gets a little sketchy. We record usually pretty late on Tuesdays. Sometimes we record on Wednesdays, the day before it goes up. So that one's going to be more like the 12 hours early sort of thing. But Animan Plus, Game Static, you can get those very early. Same thing to talk about movies and stuff whenever we do those, because those don't have a schedule. So those will just always go up early for you. Then you'll also get access to premium blog posting as well, which is going to be different per the type of show that you listen to. So for like Game Static stuff, maybe like a good example is today. One of our big topics today, of course, is Pokemon Legends Arceus. So if we wanted to, for a big game release like that, we could detail our general thoughts on the game on the website in a premium blog post before the episode ever comes out, and you can kind of get our thoughts early. And, same thing with if anyone wants to check out like an older game and maybe wants to go in really decent detail about it because they just really fell in love with the game, they can do that on the blog posting as well. When it comes to Animan Plus, same concept for any anime episodes that we're reviewing, and especially manga chapters, because if you listen to Animan Plus, we usually just rate and move on, at least for the big ones. Like Tokyo, My Hero, One Piece, Black Clover, Dr. Stone, JJK. Zach, would you say those are probably the main 6 that we try to just move past?
Usually, yeah.
Like we just rate that, move on, be respectful to anime viewers. I'll dive into some Mission Yozakura Family or Undead Unluck. You'll dive into some El Cid, or we'll dive into Weak Hero, whatever, because the audience is a little bit smaller than the ones we name because they have the fucking animes that's super popular.
Yeah.
So, this is a good area where it's like, if Josh wants to hype up like the latest chapter of One Piece and full spoilers, he can go into details there about it, or me with My Hero, or whatever. Terrible Football Show, mock drafts, player rankings. We got a lot of draft content coming up here soon. All that can be available there. Lots of cool stuff with the blog post feature that we're going to have. We also have the links page, which also does link to the Sparky 3 Discord server, which is open to everyone. You don't have to join the website. Link down in the description below. Join the server. Let's try to build a community. Have a good time there. If you sign up for the premium tier, you do get access to some premium channels in the Discord server as well. So something to note there. And I would really say that the only other perk that I can think of with the premium tier is that I'll drop some discount codes for the merch store for premium members every once in a while. I feel like that'd be a pretty decent little premium perk. But off the top of my head, I think that's the general gist of the premium stuff. Am I forgetting anything? Do you guys know off the top of your head, or did I kind of hit it? Because the main thing, obviously, is the early podcast episodes.
Yeah, no, you hit most of the regular points that we're talking about a while back.
And things could also change as well. I mean, you never know. I mean, we could add another premium perk in there later if it fits for our normal schedule, what doesn't really put us, in a spot where it makes our lives more difficult every week. That's something I don't want to do. Everything that we have in there, I feel like is pretty straightforward, where it's not that hard to do, and give you guys some good content, some good extra stuff to, motivate you to want to do the $5 a month on the website. But again, you don't have to upgrade. You can sign up for free, and you're free forever. So definitely sign up to the website. We'd appreciate that. Be a friend, tell a friend about the website. This is big. I mean, this is the biggest thing that we've ever done. Like, I'm still on cloud 9. The fact that we have fucking merch and I'm holding it like that. When I got this, I was on cloud 9 in a way.
And for everyone who don't want to hit the link in the bottom, what is the URL?
Sparky3.com.
There you go.
Yep, Sparky3.com, as well as Sparky3shop.com. Which is also cool. We have our own, legit URL because, at first, we were actually only going to have one that was paired with the company that we worked with. And we went ahead and was able to get our own domain, which also shout out to the company that we worked with, tryzero.com. They've been great to work with so far. If you're a small content creator or really content creator of any size and you don't have a website and you maybe want to get one and really have all of your content in one place and really control your own content, I definitely recommend looking into tryzero.com and seeing if they can be a good fit for you. I'll link them down in the description below as well. But I think that's kind of the big gist of the website. I mean, it's super cool. This is the biggest thing that we've ever done, and this is the next step for Sparky 3. Boys, do you have any just thoughts you want to throw out there, or you ready to just kind of hop into the rest of the stuff?
I mean, you hit most of the things with the website. I mean, as Alex said, it's a great push that we're starting. To help out anyone who wants to help support us, just go to the website, comment, sign up for free. It'll help us get us out there. If you have anyone who want to get interested in our stuff, let them know. Send them our link. Help us out however you want to. It'll be great for us.
Yep. Really excited for what's to come. All right, well, last couple things. Of course, go follow us at Twitter as well, Game Static Pod, as well as check the other shows, Animan Plus, Terrible Football Show, and talk about movies and stuff. Now that I've gone through my, fucking 8 minutes of plugs, we can go ahead and hop into the normal show, kind of run through some just general kind of quick talking points before we get to the big one. The only big talking point that we do have for the week is going to be Pokemon Legends Arceus. All three of us have played it at least a certain amount of time. What's everyone's hours on it right now? Do you know off the top of your heads?
I played for about 3 hours, give or take.
Okay.
9 to 10.
Okay. Yeah, I'm about probably right at like 7, I think, for me. So this is still very early impressions, even though, John is 9 to 10 hours in. It's still very early impressions because, there's so much to this game. So we're going to be diving into that here in a little bit. But we'll go ahead and just kind of, like I said, run through a couple little topics that we want to kind of throw out there. John, do you want to start? I know you had something you want to throw out there.
Yeah. I probably would have ended up with probably double the time into Arceus as I have now. But literally right before it came out, I picked up a little game. I believe it's called Vampire Survival.
Yeah, no, I saw you post this.
Vampire Survivors.
I saw you post this in the Discord. I was, what the heck is this?
That was my first question, too, because you were playing it last night, right?
Oh, I've been playing it.
Okay.
I've been playing it constantly.
Because, when I was playing Legends, pretty late last night, I looked over and, for some reason, my Steam friends list randomly popped up. I'm just like, all right, that's random. I look over, I see John, what the hell's John playing?
He's not playing Arceus, Alex.
Yeah, he wasn't playing Arceus. He wasn't playing Rocket League or TFT. And I'm like, what is he playing?
No, so Vampire Survivors is... at the end of the day, it's a bullet hell game.
Oh, it's a bullet hell game.
It's a bullet hell game where you create the bullet hell as hordes of... It's kind of like a pixelated art style where it's hordes of zombies hordes of vampires and skeletons and that trying to get to you while you have abilities. Basically, the only thing you do is you pick your abilities as you level up, and you move around, and the abilities autocast themselves. So it's a time-based survival game, or time-based survival bullet hell game. So as you kill enemies, they'll drop little experience orbs you pick up, and when you get enough, you level up, and when you level up, you pick one of three new abilities. I think you can have either 8 or 10 of them.
Is it randomized, or is it usually the same set each time?
You can kind of get to the same one because it's a relatively new game. I think it came out in December.
Gotcha.
And it's also a $3 game.
Oh, okay.
I assume this is on Steam based on what you said. Okay.
Yeah, it's on Steam, and it's one of those where I looked at it when it came out. I was like, I'll probably end up picking that up. Ended up picking it up and haven't been able to stop playing it. It is just, it's so much fun. But for a game where pretty much all you're doing is just moving around and dodging zombies, it's just still so much fun once you get, if you make it to the 10-minute mark on a run, and you're pretty much going for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, it's just, I hope when I level up, I hit the right items so that I can finish them off before I go to the next, or before I can max it out and get an evolution of it or something before I start to get overwhelmed.
Okay. I could see the fun in it because, I used to play the crap of Geometry Wars back on 360 and stuff like that, and it almost sounds slightly similar to it versus your bullet hell analogy. I don't know, it's still hard for me to picture that. You being the one so more or less you're the bullet hell boss pretty much.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Where in a normal bullet hell you're dodging everything trying to get to the boss. It's kind of the reverse. You're creating the boss that they're trying to get to.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it's just a joy to play, honestly. And it is I started playing it on Friday. I might have more time in it than I do in Arceus right now.
Oh, wow. Then you played it pretty late last night then, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Just the yaz.
He didn't have work today.
Fair. And for $3, it's a pretty good entry price too.
Oh yeah, no,
very friendly.
I was playing it, and then another buddy of mine, me and him both bought it around the same time, and he's kind of the same way as me, where once you start playing and kind of get into it, because there's multiple characters you can pick when you unlock them for doing various challenges and stuff in game, and they each have their own little quirk to them. Like one of them will gain a higher percentage of damage every certain number of levels, and one of them gains experience faster.
Okay.
And each one starts with a different one of the abilities in the game. So it's fun. A little bit of variation between the characters depending on which abilities you like more starting with. But yeah, I wanted to give it a little shout out because it's a $3 game, came out recently. Not too many people I've seen playing it, so felt like it deserved a little bit of love.
I mean, it definitely sounds interesting. Sort of on the Steam thing, I just remembered, but I haven't had a chance to mess with it yet, but Humankind got its first actual DLC.
Oh, did it?
With Cultures of Africa.
Ooh, okay.
So added 5 new cultures, all based off cultures of actual Africa. So that's a nice little DLC that came out.
Nice. I know you were a big fan of Humankind when it came out.
Humankind's still really fun. It was really, they had their first event throughout Halloween and Christmas too, which was really weird because they sort of missed Halloween. They got it out like the week before Halloween, and it was I forget how it's actually pronounced in Spanish, but the Day of the Dead event.
Oh yeah.
And that ran till Christmas just because things didn't match up. And if, for anyone who played it and completed all the quests, they got a special AI character.
Oh, okay.
That's no longer available after the event.
Speaking of event, I know the answer is going to be no, but have you played Halo Infinite in that cyber event?
No.
Okay, yeah, same here. I need to get on there and actually play it, but I haven't got on there for it yet. I know Season 1's going to be ending, like, I think, like, when is the Season 1 ending? Is it, like, next month or the month after?
I don't know. I played it that one night with you guys.
That's true.
I almost told you the TFT ending date.
I know that date.
Well, I will say one thing that I've been seeing, but the thing is, unless I missed it, which is entirely possible, I didn't see this from an official source, but everything that I've been seeing about this Halo season, that when the next season ends, and the next season starts, it'll have the campaign co-op. I don't know if that's official or not. I have not. I know it's going to be coming early this year and Forge later, but I that's what I've been seeing a lot of people say, but I don't think I've actually seen that from like a 343 official source. Still waiting for that. So I'm looking forward to that.
When that drops,
let's do it.
When it drops, that's when I'm gonna play it.
Yeah.
When the co-op drops.
Yeah, I'm very excited for us to hop on and play that.
When it drops, I'll probably still be playing Dynasty Warriors.
That's fair. I respect that. A couple shout outs that I wanted to give. One of these we already actually shouted out on the latest episode of Anime Plus because this came out of nowhere. It really did. A couple anime game related shout outs. 7 Deadly Sins Origins coming to PC, console, and mobile. Did not know the mobile. We did not shout that out the other day.
No.
But yeah, it is coming to mobile. Found that because I found it on TapTap.
Which makes sense because,
Yeah. The other one is this one just popped out. Was it just today?
Yeah, today.
Yes, a solo leveling game by Netmarble. That's actually a pretty big publisher for mobile games and stuff. But that's coming to PC and mobile.
The same publisher who's doing the mobile version of that 7 Deadly Sins game as well.
Yeah, and I still stand by what we were talking about. So that 7 Deadly Sins game has no right to look as good as it did. It just doesn't.
The solo leveling game, it's going to be PC mobile as well, and it looks really solid as well. John and me were watching right before we started recording, and it looks very good. And based on it, it looks like on it you're going to be able to play as several other characters besides just Jinwoo.
Oh, that's okay. That's
you're going to get to play as his waifu, and then it showed playing his tank.
Yes.
Yeah, I will say
Iron's his name.
At least watching that solo leveling video right before we started, there was a moment where I was like, this kind of like I feel like this is going to be a mobile game, but it looks like a little too much is happening for a mobile game.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's kind of how I felt towards when I was watching the 7 Deadly Sins Origins thing as well. So it looks like there was a lot happening sometimes. But, that game, John, I know you probably haven't seen anything for it yet, but it literally just looks like Genshin Impact, but it's 7 Deadly Sins.
Yeah.
That's literally what it looks like.
Well, that's what I was initially thinking about when I was watching the solo leveling one.
Okay.
I was like, I'm assuming this is somewhat like Genshin Impact in a sense, or it might be.
Right. It might be. For that solo leveling one, it looked very much more just generally action oriented. The 7 Deadly Sins one actually showed exploring a map and whatnot.
Yeah, it's like that'll probably be more dungeon based.
Yeah, and when it comes to the solo leveling thing, one thing that's still kind of disappointing is that we get the announcement for this game. We got the announcement for I think it was the live action show, right?
Yes.
but yet still nothing for an anime. It's like, just give us the anime,
I mean,
please.
it got a live action. There is no anime.
Unfortunately. One day you'll get its anime.
Nah.
One day. Shut up, John. Be positive.
That was being positive.
You're just bringing us back down to earth.
I'm
Okay.
slightly curious, though, why all this came out after the series ended and not before.
Right.
Sort of building up some hype towards the ending.
And that's kind of, that's what a little bit what I was pitching with Origin. I felt like that was such a missed window, I really do.
That one was far bigger gap, though.
100%. Like, don't get me wrong. I acknowledge that Four Knights of the Apocalypse is doing very well right now in sales, the new manga. And the story is very entertaining, okay? But, like, Origins, that is such a missed opportunity. That should have been a while ago. I don't know why just randomly, let's do the 7 Deadly Sins game. Let's do that. That sounds fun. Whatever. Anyway, next thing to shout out here is, and this is actually, we don't have to talk about it for a long time, but I do just want to propose the question because we didn't really talk about it last week. Activision Blizzard recently came out, and this is probably like Jason Schreier saying how Activision Blizzard is committed to releasing at least the next 3 Call of Duties, COD of this year, COD of next year, and a Warzone 2 in 2023 as well. On PlayStation consoles. Okay, so the question that I want to propose is, what do you guys think Sony will do? Because let's be real, COD is going to be Xbox only at some point. That's too big of a price tag. Where Xbox, they're going to keep it on their own console at some point. What do you guys think that PlayStation could potentially bring back some of their past FPS games to try to they're not going to fully compete because COD's COD, but at some point they're going to lose COD. What do you? This.
I'm going to call you out real quick. You flipped real quick from last week of going, well, Microsoft's going to push them to want to get COD and maybe push Game Pass on PlayStation.
I stand by that. I stand by that.
To Microsoft's going to keep COD solely Xbox.
No, listen. The only way Microsoft will allow it to go over there at some point is if they allow Game Pass. I'm still going to push that because that's still what I fully believe will happen once these contract obligations run up. Okay, but let's say Sony sticks to their guns, which, let's be real, wouldn't shock anyone here. Sony is very stubborn about their ecospace. Okay, they're still one of the last ones that doesn't allow crossplay for a lot of games. Like, they're opening up to it where some games are finally getting it. Like, I think Destiny just went on like a beta for crossplay for PlayStation here recently. Meanwhile, it's like crossplay in other capacities. So, Sony is very adamant about staying within their ecospace. So, if they're not gonna, which I can see the conflictions of like, do we really want something Xbox labeled up on our home screens? Like, do we want that? If let's say they don't, let's say they're just like, no, we're not gonna strike that deal. COD's gonna be Xbox only if they're not gonna be able to work it out. So again, brings the question, what can PlayStation do? You think they could potentially bring back like a Resistance or a Killzone or a SOCOM? Like, what do you guys think?
I think if they were going off of the assumption that that COD will not, after the next 3 games, won't be on PlayStation anymore, I would think their best bet would be to come up with their own thing. Come up with something new. Don't try to resurrect.
Okay.
Don't try to resurrect these ones that are gone for a reason.
Right.
It's like they're not still around because while they may have been decent games, they didn't catch on. It's like they weren't the ones that people were wanting to play. So if that's the case, why try to resurrect something that's not there instead of try something different and see if it sticks?
That's fair.
I'm always up for new IPs and giving it a shot.
Yeah, I know you are, yeah.
Me personally, I think on Sony's point of view, just me personally, I could see them maybe actually just sort of cutting off FPS in general, of having a singular FPS. I don't see them. I would see them continuing like with keeping like BRs and things like that.
Right.
But like an actual consistent first-person shooter franchise, I could see them just outright not even bothering with it and just keep on focusing on what Sony has, and that's every Japanese game imaginable, plus plenty of BRs and other shooters that people are already playing, and just having them on their platform for people who prefer to play it on PlayStation.
That's a good point, because they did mention a Warzone 2 there.
Yeah.
Which, if that's the case, they don't really need anything else. Because as far as FPS games go, it's like a lot of it is just Warzone right now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody's
it is.
playing Warzone, or everybody. It's like they're
Or
playing
Apex.
They're playing Apex or
true.
Warzone or some form of some amalgamation of those two games.
And with the re-release of PUBG going free, a lot of people picking that up again.
Yeah, so it's like that's the games they're playing, and realistically, I don't see them coming up with a fresh IP. That's just my opinion of what they should do.
Fair.
Personally, I lean kind of more towards what you were saying, Zach. I don't necessarily think that the console needs a
dedicated
first-person
FPS.
shooter game.
I mean, no.
It's like I don't have my PlayStation for shooters. I have my PlayStation for all the RPGs and everything I want to play.
True.
And I mean, we may not be in the minority of that, John, because I know you and me play a lot of JRPGs and things like that. And I know there is a decently large FPS community that plays on PlayStation.
True.
But I don't think it would be that devastating of a transition if Sony just did not have a main-facing FPS and just forgo it and focused on what they already have and know how to do.
It really just depends on year by year, honestly, because I mean, a lot of times with Call of Duties, from what I see, is Call of Duty sells primarily on PlayStation. So that's probably what they're going to be looking at and potentially push to maybe do a new IP. Because John does bring up a very good point. You know, why rehash something that obviously didn't work to begin with? Like, you know, each of those 3 franchises I named that are all dead by Sony, they're all held in some high regard by their respective communities, but they're dead for a reason. They stopped making them for a reason.
Yeah, it's like they may be held in high regard by their community, but it's a small community.
Yeah.
And the small community is not gonna like, even if they made the game, that small community is not gonna hold it up and keep it going.
True.
Probably not.
Speaking of BRs, I totally forgot that a Hyperscape thing was a thing until I saw the news that that the Ubisoft shut it down.
I mean, I'm not surprised by that.
Yeah, it was big for what, like 2 days when they paid all the streamers to play it.
Yep.
Maybe, yeah.
Yep.
Maybe for like a week or two, but that's about it.
Yeah. It did not last long. It only had like an actual 2-year run, but obviously, like I said, I completely forgot it was a thing because they'd only had like that 1 week of popularity, like you guys are saying.
I mean, I played it for like a couple days. I mean, it was all right.
Yeah. Okay. Still talking about Activision Blizzard here. Hey, we did get an announcement from Blizzard that they're working on a new survival game for PC and console. Not much to really dive in on that. It's just a brand new IP. We'll see it when we see it. You know, God knows how long that's going to be. So it's just something to kind of throw out there. Now, Elder Scrolls Online did announce its next expansion. And every time I see one of these, I always ask myself, do I need to finally play this damn game?
No.
I downloaded it yesterday. I don't know if I'll play it, though.
You download it every year and don't play it.
You're correct. I do.
And every year is a bigger download. I actually came over when he was downloading it, and it's like a 92 gigabyte download.
Yep. But I downloaded it. We'll see if I jump into it.
No.
Probably won't. You're right. But I still have it there in case I want to.
So you also have Alan Wake sitting on a shelf.
Look, if I'm going to play that, I'm going to get the remake, okay? So you can kiss my ass.
But you're not gonna get the remake.
Yes,
or the
I will.
Remaster.
Yes, I will.
And it's going to sit on your console, taking up space.
I'll get it. I promise.
We already know you're going to get it.
And I will play it.
That's the part that's in contention.
That's fair. I fully acknowledge
I'll
the
tell you,
hate that I'm getting here.
I'll tell you,
get it.
he's gonna play Alan Wake like I keep telling him I'm gonna play Mass Effect.
That's probably a pretty accurate way to describe it.
Doesn't matter if I have the game downloaded. Doesn't mean I'm gonna play it. It's just to appease other people.
I'll play Alan Wake at some point, okay? Because I'm determined to get this monkey off my back and prove that I can play a game when I say I will.
Yeah, but then there's that other one for Animan that I still got you for.
That one's rough. I still have not removed it from my queue because I don't want to admit full defeat. But I know I'm never going to watch it. I know I'm not. I know I'm not.
The funny part is not removing it from the queue is the real defeat.
Yeah.
All right. Next thing we have here is that Respawn went on a little bit of a slew of announcements. Respawn and EA working on 3 new Star Wars games, a new Jedi game, which we already have been hearing some reports on that we got a sequel coming, or at least something within that space, as well as a new Star Wars FPS and a strategy game.
They've been announcing that they're working on Star Wars games for almost 3 years now.
Yep.
That's all we we know you're working on a game. Make a damn game already.
Show us something, damn
Shit.
it.
Yep.
Give us a name. Give us something about a game.
Well,
It's not an announcement to say you're working on another one.
the Game Awards showed us a Star Wars
Eclipse.
game, and then it immediately went into hell.
Yeah, it's in full blown developmental hell.
It's like it's been constant talk like every year. We got another one we're doing. It's like, but you can't make one. Why are you trying to make 3?
Yeah, they're really spreading Respawn out on that one, making 3 different ones, which I feel like is a little telling as well that EA isn't having DICE help with anything. I feel like that's a little telling with how bad Battlefield 2042 has turned out. But also when it comes to this deal, one thing, just a friendly reminder for everyone: EA's exclusive deal on this only lasts for 1 more year.
Yep.
For Star Wars games, and then nothing's going to stop them from making more as long as they can get the AOK from like Disney and stuff. But after this year, Disney can basically throw Star Wars IP out to really any publisher. Which, while I'm not a big Star Wars fan, that will be very interesting to see what publishers want to step up and try to create whatever. You know what I mean? Instead of it just not being in EA's hands anymore. So that'll be cool. Last little thing here before we jump into some Pokemon Legends is, so we just had the PS Plus games for February revealed, and everyone was starting to immediately point it.
I haven't looked at this yet.
Okay. I don't even know what the games are. I think one of them was UFC. Well, I don't know. The games themselves isn't important. What everyone immediately started to point out is that, like, on the actual big promo art that they put up, literally, you go back at any other thing from the past, they all say for PlayStation Plus members, now it just says on there where that little text was available at no extra cost, which I just wanted to shout that out because we've been getting a lot of reports and rumors that PlayStation is about to reveal their Project Spartacus possibly this month in February. So I feel like this could potentially, kind of give some backing to what like some insiders and reporters are saying, which is going to be cool to see. I'm interested to see what this 3-tier program is going to be that Sony's got lined up to try to compete with Game Pass. So just wanted to throw that out there, just a little friendly tidbit and reminder that this could be the month that we get to see what this finally is.
I do want to throw out one thing I saw. So as officially of, I think yesterday actually, Sega is officially out of the arcade business after 50 years.
Yeah, I saw that. Big rip. Hell of a
yeah,
run.
the Sega arcade is going to be shut down.
I saw that, and that was really sad when I read that.
Yep.
Hey, hell of a run.
50 years for Sega. They had something, and now they're letting it go.
Yeah, hell of a run. Still on the Sega train, I did see an interview earlier this week from some of the devs that are working on Sonic Frontiers, and when they were talking about,
I think I saw this tweet.
Yeah, when they were talking about the game, is that they've pretty much everything about the game, everything about like the actions, and everything about like how the game is going to be played. They've essentially they're building completely from scratch, which could be a good thing or a disastrous thing. I don't know which. Especially since it's coming out this year.
They just get Jim Carrey to voice everybody.
Please. But I don't know. We'll see how Frontiers goes. I'm staying cautiously optimistic. At the very least, they'll have a great story. Everything else, I don't know.
It just turns out to be a game with just nothing but catching chows.
They need to make that into a mobile game. Get like the Chow Garden, make that into a mobile game from Sun Adventure 2.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that'd be a dope mobile game. I'd play the shit out of that.
Can't believe I'm going to be the one to say this, but not everything needs to be a mobile game.
The biggest mobile gamer here.
It would be an idle game.
It would be.
Not all idle games need to be made. I played a bunch of shit ones.
I mean, yeah.
All right. Any other thoughts you boys want to throw out there before we get into some Legends?
No, I don't got anything else from this week.
Nah, I think we can kind of jump into it.
Okay. Pokemon Legends Arceus. The reviews were outstanding, honestly, when the embargo was lifted. A lot of high ratings across the board. I haven't checked on the Metacritic score recently, but when it first popped out, it was started off as an 86, I think. A lot of 5 out of 5s, a lot of like 8 out of 10, stuff like that. Scores were very high up there.
I mean, my favorite thing from seeing it was because I saw the early reviews. Someone had posted together all the reviews and tweeted it, and it was all like 8s to 9s, and there was a few 7s in there.
Yep.
The funniest thing I saw was I don't remember whose article it was, but it was an article headlined, Arceus is the best Pokemon game, but also the messiest.
I saw that post. I didn't read the article, but it was like I remember seeing that title.
Yeah, because I saw all the reviews and then I saw that headline. I was like, I'm okay with this.
Or I may have seen, it may not have been that one. I saw one that was very similar to that. I think it was worded a little differently, the one I saw. But yeah, it was like Pokemon Legends Arceus could be the best in the series while being the worst.
Yeah. I mean, so far I've been enjoying with 3 hours. I did enjoy the opening. The opening was a nice touch of just, it's not a start menu. It just throws you right in that sucker. We have our traditional, tell me what you look like, but instead of being a professor, it's the Arceus, however you pronounce it. And the story's just said, you're just some kid that gets yeeted out of the present time to go and get sent here.
Man, I'm not that much further than you guys, really, but man, people still just love talking about how you fell out of the sky.
I noticed that.
It does not stop.
It just every time you encounter somebody, oh, you're the one who fell out of the sky.
Yeah.
Oh, you're the flying kid.
Yeah, exactly. And I will say that opening, for a lot of people, probably like us, can just look past it because it's just like it helps set up the game. But there's also that handful of people where it's just like, this is absolutely stupid way to start a game.
Why?
Their argument is this just like it makes zero sense for this random kid to just get randomly pulled back in time.
Congratulations to gaming and anime logic.
Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. We're also playing a game where we're a 15-year-old kid running around catching Pokemon, trying to like help out this village back in time. It's a stupid concept.
There's also a 15-year-old kid with the mental fortitude of a damn sage who's just like, hey, I'm in another world. Sure, I'll catch Pokemon. Why are people scared? And the entire time in any of the options, I was just like, I'm scared shitless option.
True. I will say, while I don't really have a beef with that and how you start the game, the base concept. I don't really have a beef with it because I get it, whatever. I do think it would have been kind of cool to make it where this whole game is focused in the past, like where you are a character from the past. I do think that would have been cool. But like I said, I don't have a beef with that. I just know there are people that do that really trash on that, which I get it. It's like what you just said. It's just like stupid anime, whatever, I get that. But talking about, do we want to start with the bad or the good? Because, this is a messy game in some capacities.
Before we kind of get into that, just quickly, starter choices.
Oshawott.
Cyndaquil.
See, as I've said before, I always do a first run with water because I'm just a water person. If I actually chose my favorite, it would have been Cyndaquil. Because Cyndaquil is probably my favorite starter.
Pretty much 9 times out of 10. Okay, let me say this. 10 times out of 10 for a brand new Pokemon region with brand new starters, I will always pick grass no matter what first. But since these are 3 that I've used all 3 before, and I love my boy Rowlet, he's not one of my favorite grass starters. Oshawott, though, yeah, I mean, Oshawott is like one of my favorite water Pokemon of all time. I love Oshawott so damn much. Plus, since I already knew what the Hisuian forms were, I've said it before on the show, grass fighting is that's just a shit type, man. So I'd rather rock with the water dark type. That sounds like a lot more fun. Have you got to Typhlosion? Are you at Typhlosion now?
Yeah.
How's he rocking? The fire ghost.
He's fire.
Oh, he's just pure fire. He's not ghost. No, he's ghost type.
It's fire. I'm the one who's been using it. Don't tell me what he is.
I'm pretty sure he's fire ghost.
I don't know what you're on about.
He's a fire type.
Fire ghost sounds fucking stupid.
I mean, that's Chandelure.
I'm the one using it. He was fire type when I evolved him.
I'm gonna have to fact check this because I swear to God.
I mean, you say that's
fire.
Chandelure. Chandelure's ghost fire. That's not dumb. Fire ghost is dumb.
Hey, I'm not saying that it wouldn't be fire ghost. I'm just saying when I evolved it, it was fire.
Okay. Well, do we want to start with the good or the bad? Because I mean, this is it. That article is not wrong. It is a messy game in some capacities.
I mean, I'm only 3 hours in, so I haven't seen a whole lot. I do notice that I do get a bit of glitches every now and again in the middle of battles when he goes to throw Pokeballs, whether it's throwing out a new Pokemon or trying to throw a Pokeball to catch something. It'll sort of glitch out for a moment and have a stutter. The only other thing I have is apparently this gatekeeper guy who y'all keep referencing earlier, who mine's missing a head.
Yeah, you did mention that he's headless.
And I went, okay, cool.
Out of curiosity, you keep saying it's messy. What are you having that's making you say it's messy?
Well, the biggest thing, and I defended this weeks ago, and I'm still going to continue to defend it, where it's a Pokemon game. Get over it. But I will say you can really tell where the game is held back by the Switch's power in terms of just like the general graphics and textures, because those textures are pretty rough. I don't think anyone can fight against that. And I'm not knocking, like, I'm not saying that, oh, that's going to knock like 6 points off my opinion on it. No, I mean, like I defended weeks ago. It's a Pokemon game. When you're playing this, you feel like you're playing a Pokemon game. You know what I mean? Like with how it looks. And that's fine. But I definitely can say that I can tell by looking around in different areas. Like I know you mentioned to me about that, me and you had the tree thing that was happening to us.
What he's referring to is from us. It's like, unless you're right up on the trees, they're purple.
Yeah. But I mean, the textures is pretty messy. I will say that. And, I'm not going to sit here and just say that it's, makes the game terrible, because it doesn't. But in my opinion, all it does is tell me that, okay, I feel like, it's a mix of two things. It's one, it does come back to the Switch's power. While yes, we can go look at Breath of the Wild, and while Breath of the Wild looks really great, which also brings me to point two, at the end of the day, this is a huge experiment for Game Freak. I mean, this is off their norm, okay? And I feel like it's obvious where corners were cut, is the way that I'll put it. Because I mean, like, the moment that I got into the game and you see the storm, whatever, above Mount Cornet, every time I look at it, I can't get over it. The actual white part literally just looks like someone just put a JPEG on that thing. Like, I can't get over that, because like the cloud is spinning, but that white part just looks like a JPEG to me. And again, I'm not trashing the game for this. I get it, but I'm just pointing out that I could tell where some corners were cut to focus on other areas.
See, that doesn't bother me, because meanwhile you see that, and then I look at that and I go, that's the coolest looking thing in this game right now. and I want to go there, but I can't right now.
Yeah, we're not there yet. We'll get there.
But yeah, no, honestly, aside from some of the textures, like either not rendering quite properly, but like with a few issues, like being colored or being the wrong colors, or just like not popping in fully from a distance. I mean, you sit down and play the game for more than an hour, and you forget to notice all of that. Mm-hmm. It's like it just disappears. I mean, I was, let's say, cautiously optimistic about the game, like the game beforehand. I was excited for it, but I was a little cautious of like how the story was going to work, what it was going to be. I'm having a blast with it, having more fun with it than I thought I was going to. Mm. I will say one thing I did say beforehand. I think it was last week. Was I was like, I have a feeling the noble fights are going to be tedious and not necessarily fun, and they're more tedious than fun. At least in my opinion.
I've only done one. It was Cleaver, and it was so stupidly boring.
It's basically the objective is you throw a bomb at them over and over again, like they did in the video, while you dodge attacks. Really, you only have to dodge it a couple times, because depending on the one that you're in, like the Cleaver one, you can make him stun himself.
Yep.
And then that immediately triggers where you can throw your Pokemon out and battle him.
Which is what I did, because like literally when the fight started, he accidentally hit the tree that's in the middle of the area, and he basically just got stuck there, where I just kind of like peeked out from behind the tree, and he kept charging into the tree, stunning himself. So he would stun himself, I'd battle him real quick, throw more of the little bags of whatever we're throwing at him, and then just repeat process. He would just keep hitting the tree over and over again.
But at least they do get a little more, like there's a little more that starts to go on, rather than that one where it's like there's one or two options basically. He's gonna charge you, or he's gonna try to hit you with this rock that's gonna follow you or whatever. They get a little more like where you actually have to dodge around and stuff, but at least not too far or like not too much more, but a little more where you actually have to do something.
Gotcha.
But so far, the noble fights were just as tedious as I thought they were going to be. But other than that, I mean, I've been having a blast. The fields are. It's kind of like if you enjoyed the wild area from Sword and Shield, just multiply that field.
I was about to say, based on how some people were saying the map was going to be, I'm actually sort of surprised how big the zones are.
Yeah, the zones are big.
They are a lot bigger than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah, same.
I agree.
When people said it was going to be a smaller map, I figured it was going to be like maybe 2 or 3 zones, but no, there's actually quite a few zones, and each one's got decently sized area.
And at least in the first like two or so areas you can kind of go to, they just connect in. It's just a matter of going there.
Yeah.
You're not. It's like you're not necessarily blocked off. It's just a matter of. It's a matter of like you get a little story progression and you get there's a guy like at one point I think the first time you go in there's a guy blocking the bridge to go across.
Oh, yeah.
You finish the little story that you're on, you go back out there and he moves.
Yeah, it's just
And that's like the only guy blocking off an area.
yeah, because I found out that you can't swim.
Yeah, I found that out too.
So you drown, yeah.
Yeah, because I was just like, "Fuck you, man! I'll just go." What the hell?
Well, it's weird because it makes you think you can swim.
Yeah, because it allows you to swim for a couple
Yeah,
moments.
You get out there and you get to move a couple basically like steps essentially, and then you fall underwater.
Yep.
Oh, I did learn something too. If you're out in the fields and all your Pokemon faint, the battle just ends and you have to run away. You don't get sent back to like a Pokemon, like the medical bay or anything. No, you got to fucking run your ass away from
because
the
they
battle.
don't exist yet.
Yeah, it's like if they knock out all your Pokemon, the battle ends and then it starts charging at you.
That's funny. I actually was curious about that because it's called Monferno, right?
Yeah.
I ran into a random Monferno that was higher level than my entire party, and it kept one-shotting after it set up. And I noticed that every time it defeated a Pokemon and I had to choose a no one, I liked the little touch where the Monferno just would glance toward the defeated Pokemon, then glance at and then stare at the trainer. I was like, that thing's gonna fuck me up. So yeah, next time you're fighting a wild Pokemon that's beating your Pokemon, just watch how it looks, where its head's moving.
Yep, and that's actually one of my main positives of the game is that as you're kind of going around, like in a way, you almost get a little bit of like almost tension in a way because you really have to plot. Okay, how am I going to do this? Am I just going to avoid this? You know, do I need to actually sneak? Do I need to throw a berry and try to distract it? What do I need to do? Which I think I think that is a good dynamic to add into the game of where these Pokemon will fuck your shit.
I've thrown a berry for distraction a total of 1 time, and then I'll mow through them if I have to. If they want to challenge me, I'll put you down.
I also found a random Pichu and I just kept feeding it.
No,
that's nice.
I will say because I saw the Pichu too, but I scared it off.
Oh,
Because I didn't notice it in time, and then it ran away. I will say there is this weird moment when you see like a Pokemon for the first time in the area, and you have to have that consideration. Is it gonna run away or is it gonna attack me?
Yes.
yeah.
Because let me tell you, I did not think Paris was gonna be aggressive.
I agree. I agree.
I don't know what you're talking about. He's part of the Scuttle family. Scuttle.
God, stop that.
Hey, he can scuttle all he wants to. I just didn't expect him to because like you'll just walk by and you're like, there's a couple Paris there, and then it's like you hear a noise and you turn around and there's like 4 of them chasing after you, and it's like, wait a second, what's happening here? But so far, I mean, most of my time has just been running around in the fields,
That's how mine has been.
just trying to go everywhere that I can possibly go to see kind of where the spawns are, what Pokemon are there,
Yeah.
and then try to catch any new ones that I see.
See, that's sort of where I am. I mean, most of my 3 hours, I only progressed when my Pokemon were about to hit the first threshold. And I went, I guess I should do it so I can keep using them. That's the only time I progress.
I will say I did over level, and it's not like when you over level they just completely stop listening to you.
Oh, really?
It's like I over leveled it by like 2 levels, or at least one of my mons did. I think my Luxray over leveled by 2, and he was still listening to me for the most part.
Okay.
He never really didn't obey me, or if he did, I didn't really notice. I will say one thing I have noticed is they've changed a lot of moves and how they changed how all statuses work.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, they did.
That's just one of my slight things I noticed because towards getting more into Pokemon games, I started using status moves and setup moves a lot more. And I've noticed that not nearly as many setup moves like Tail Whip, Growl, things like that are in.
Yeah, those 2 moves in particular are actually completely removed from the
Yeah.
game. They removed a lot of moves. Like, I mean, I think there's only like I saw the number the other day, but I think it was Cerebi is who posted on Twitter. There's maybe only like 200 moves in the game, which really is not that much.
Well, it's interesting because they've changed how a lot of them work.
Yeah,
because like sleep is no longer just like a sleep. Sleep is just makes them drowsy, and there's a chance on their turn they just don't attack because they're tired.
Yeah.
And then like poison and burn are still both the same, but those statuses go away the second you're out of combat.
And freeze has changed as well. They don't just freeze anymore. I think it's just called frostbite.
Okay, I haven't encountered freeze yet, or I haven't encountered anything that got to use it.
So what, you just one-shot him?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then also when it comes back, what you're talking about with like setup moves, whatever. So like an example, sword stance.
Yeah.
Sword stance would normally only be your physical attack. Now it just, instead of picking one or the other, it now just says offensive stats have increased.
Yeah.
Or one of the defensive stat boosters. It's like defensive stats increased, not special or physical defense.
Oh, fun thing too. Like if you're in a battle with a wild mon and you throw a ball at it, and if they get out of it, there's just a chance for their stats to increase.
Yeah, they get angered.
Yeah.
They don't always, but let me tell you, enraging alpha mons gonna fuck you up.
It hurts.
Oh, yeah, no. that Monferno I found, I tried to catch it and went enraged, and that's when it started one-shotting everything.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, there's been a couple alphas that I went after where it's like the battle started, they started getting enraged, or like they got enraged like 2 times, and I was like, you know what? I'll come back for you later. And I'd knock them out and go about my day. But so far it's been interesting because I've done three noble battles so far, and every time you encounter one of the nobles, every time you encounter the nobles, you get like a tablet, like the psychic tablet or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
The plates.
Yeah.
Do you install it into your weird-ass phone?
It's for Arceus.
Do you install it into your weird-ass phone?
No, I think you install it into Arceus.
Okay.
Yeah, it
Changes its type.
Yeah, it's the Arceus. It's the plates for Arceus. Same thing with Savali. Can also use them where it just changes their type because they're the only Pokemon that can do that.
But yeah, so you start getting those, and then after you do like the battles with them, you get like you get like a whistle that you can use to ride them around.
Oh, okay.
So that's kind of when you start getting the quicker traversal in that.
Yeah.
Although the second noble battle, riding him around, it's like a little treasure sniffer.
You mean the bear?
Yeah, you ride him around, and if he's got a little arrow that pops up in front of him that's blue or something, and if it starts blinking red, it means in that direction. If you follow it, he'll tell you to dig at the end of it, and then he'll give you an item.
Okay.
So it's like I was like riding him around. I'm like, let's see if I can find anything. And the next thing you know, I'm just doing laps around, and then I got all this fucking Pokemon chasing me around, wanting to fight.
Now, one thing that they did very well with this game, which is one of the main things that they need to hit out of the park, is I feel like the gameplay is very fluid, which that's so important because it's kind of like why, let's say like Jared, for example, me and Jared have our ongoing Zelda debate. One of his biggest things about Breath of the Wild is just how many different ways he can go about something. The gameplay is very fluid. It's the same thing with here. I mean, you can be running along, throw a Pokeball at this, immediately swap to a Pokemon to hit a tree to collect stuff, and then turn back around, throw another Pokeball at this, and go collect this. The gameplay, it's very fluid. There's very, it's not like you have to stop and go open up your menus and change everything. Same thing with battles. It's just all right there in the game. Just hit some triggers, change your Pokemon, change if you're going to use items or not. And I think that, and that's one of the biggest things they need to hit out of the park. Which again is why I can see where some corners were cut. Because again, this is all new to them. This is all new territory. But at the most important part is they did very well with the gameplay.
Yeah. There is something very satisfying about like sitting in a bush and there being like 4 Pokemon walking by in front of you, and then throwing balls at them all, and then just watching it ding one after the other that you've caught them.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's like, and they're just all at the same time going. It's like. Yeah, that's way more efficient.
Yep. Every time I've been in the bush, Zach, I just think of you whenever the game was revealed, whatever, and it showed him hiding in the bush, and you're just like, oh, we're the hunters now.
I was like, how the times have changed.
Yeah, every time I'm in the bush, I just think that.
Well, what are the... Like, how when you get up close to them, you can, like, hit the left trigger or something and inspect them to see?
Yep.
Man, you can... That's the only way to really tell with the alphas what level they are, to know if you can actually go after them. But it's like a lot of times they're in an open field or something, so
there's nothing to hide.
So getting close to them is difficult. And
throwing a berry doesn't distract them.
Yeah, throwing a rock at them doesn't stun them either. You can find them. You can get mud balls.
Yeah, I've gotten a few from Geodudes.
Yeah, but it's like there's a couple that I've found where it's like you're kind of approaching up to it, and it's like, I don't want to make it mad where it just immediately starts chasing me. So like you're just skirting around a little rock on the very edge, and it's like, I just need you to take like 2 more steps, dude. 2 more steps and I can see you. And it's like, oh shit, level 60. I'll be back for you later.
And one thing that I like about the alpha Pokemon, at least for now, could my opinion change? Yes. Is I like how pretty much as long as you have registered them in your decks, they can be an alpha Pokemon. It does not matter. Which is a big difference from, Pokemon Sword and Shield with the max raids, where each den had their own respective Pokemon that would be like the most powerful, the purple beam dens. In this game, anything can be an alpha. I encountered an alpha Bidoof. That thing was massive.
Yes.
It was so big.
Yeah, no, I've seen an alpha Bidoof. I've got an alpha was it Tangrowth?
Yep.
I've seen one of those walking around.
Mr. Tickle.
And let me tell you,
that's Giga Tickle to you.
It's fucking big.
Shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Tickle for my DBA team.
I will say as well, because have you actually caught alpha Pokemon? Have been using them?
I've caught 2 of them. I have not used them though.
Okay, here's the thing: as big as they are, when you catch them and they're walking around, that's how fucking big they are.
Oh no.
I'm actually sort of happy with that.
I got a Cricketune 3 times my size.
Speaking of Cricketune, since Cricketune, I'm drawing a blank, but I don't think he was in Sword and Shield where you could see his walking animation. His walking animation fucking scares the shit out of me. Because I saw an alpha Cricketune, and I didn't see like what level it was till I got up close to it, what everyone did. I'm just like, oh, yep, not doing this. And it just started chasing me down. And I turned my camera to see if it was still right behind me, and just its waddle scares the shit out of me. It's like, I'm going to get you, bitch. I'm just like, no, please leave me alone.
See, I didn't have that with anything like that. The first time I encountered the Drifloons for the first time at night, that sort of messed with me because I was just staring at a Starly and I was about to catch it, was sitting in the bush, and it went night and suddenly it just flew away. I went, what the hell just happened?
Oh, yeah. The night changed it, man. It's quick.
Yeah, I was like, what the hell just happened? And then without even noticing, I just see the red eye that you've been spotted. I was like, what? And I turn and I look around, and there's just 3 Drifloons popping in and out coming at me.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, fuck.
Dude, no, that spawning, man, it drops like a hat, bro. Because like I was literally like trying to get, just capture a Beautifly, whatever. It did not see me. I go to throw the ball, it disappears, which it's a little bit like from like me to John sort of level, right?
Yeah.
But then like it disappears. I'm like, damn it. But then it's like as night happens, like where my laptop is right here, a dust hawk just appears right in front of me, and I'm like, whoa, what the hell? So you're right, dude. That it changes quick. It changes very, very quick.
Have either of y'all started trying to see how far away you can throw a Pokeball?
Yeah, I found a limit.
You too?
Yeah. Yeah.
There's one Pokeball that you can throw further. Is that the feather one?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's you're supposed to be able to throw it further to catch it because it's supposed to be better for catching the fast mons.
Yeah.
Or faster flying. But going back to you talking about the Cricketune catching you off guard with it chasing after you. I got a better one. I was walking through an area and there's like all these little ponds and shit in there. And I'm walking by and then didn't see it. I just saw the eyes turn towards me of a giant alpha hippowdon.
Oh
no. And I'm looking at it going, I didn't want to have anything to do with you, sir. I'll be on my way now.
That is definitely an interesting feeling now playing Pokemon versus Pokemon. Was like, I'm gonna just go in the grass, I'm gonna go beat stuff and catch it. To now you just walk. Was like, what are you doing here? And it is also sort of like a nice touch with the interaction with like the NPCs and stuff. Like one of the first early quests, the one with the Starly,
Yeah.
where the lady first had you complete the investigation of it, then actually bring a Starly to her, and you're just like, you want to touch it? She's like, God, no.
Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, like, as I'm walking through the towns, like later on in the game, she'll just be standing around looking at like a gift shop or something.
Yeah,
and just be like, I wonder what Starly would like.
Yeah, no, she just repeats that.
But have you guys had to do a mission for catching a guy at Wurmple?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just keep talking to him.
Oh, does it get entertaining?
It starts evolving.
Oh,
as
because
the game
he
goes
wants
on.
he wants a Beautifly, but I almost guarantee it's going to turn into a Dusk.
That's what I'm thinking. I haven't got there yet, but he's making his way there.
What did it evolve into?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay. I mean, once it goes to a Cascoon, it's said and done.
Well, it either becomes a Cascoon or Silcoon.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it evolved into.
Okay.
But
yeah.
I've as soon as I caught it for him, he said beautiful. I'm like, you get a Dustox, dude.
That's the exact same thing I thought.
Yeah.
I will say the requests they start to get a bit tedious, at least in my mind, because there's an assignment board where you'll start getting requests from the assignment board, but all the request tells you is, oh, somebody wants help with this. Do you want to do it? And you hit yes.
And then you
But
have to
then
go find
you
them.
have to go find the person who put the request on to go do the request for them.
I've started getting a few of those, and I was sort of like, what's the point of this board?
Yeah, the board serves no purpose other than to tell you, oh, somebody might want to talk to you.
Yeah. You could just do what you've done with all the other quests, just make a marker on the map, and I'll run to them, so we can just streamline this.
Now, I will say one of the nice things about this game is the way they've changed how you can change out your moves,
Yes, that is nice.
because you don't unlearn any moves. Any move that you've learned is just in a box, basically, or they're all there, but when you go to change moves, you can just see every move that you've ever learned on that mon, and you can swap them out at will.
Yeah, that is a nice little quality of life change for this game.
And then there's in the training grounds, there's a lady you can talk to up there who will teach them like specialty moves or something for money. Man, they can learn all kinds of shit.
Yes, they can.
You can teach them just about anything you want to. Like, just I think they were trying to teach my I think it was a Quillava at the time, like Ice Punch.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, this doesn't even make sense.
She's just a human TM machine.
Yeah,
she just beats it into them.
It's basically just how they did TMs in this game. Is you go talk to this lady and she'll teach him the move for like 2,000 or something.
The thing you got to remember though is once she teaches it, you got to equip it. It doesn't automatically equip.
Yeah,
it.
I did double check that because I bought some move. I think I bought a couple moves for my Crobat,
Mm-hmm.
and then almost forgot to equip him.
Question: is Crobat's evolution still the same in this game, or does he just evolve once you hit a level? Because usually Crobat evolves once you get.
I had a Golbat for a while before he evolved.
So probably got to still do friendship.
Yeah, I'm assuming that it's not that long. Like I had him with me for a while and like was using him fairly consistently, and then he eventually evolved.
Yeah, because I was wondering about that because I noticed that lady who's just a bit outside the training ground who has all these specialty items to evolve Pokemon through trades and what items they have to hold.
Yeah, you buy items from. This is one thing I was going to mention because I don't know if you guys got to it yet. You can buy items from her with merit points.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Have you guys encountered the merit system yet?
Yes.
So when you progress further, if you open up the map, you'll start to see like an icon on it. And if you hover over, say like somebody's satchel.
Yep.
Oh, I saw that.
Yep.
If you go pick the satchel up, it'll say like satchel return to them. And then if you go in your menu, there's an option like in the network one to recover items, and like it'll give you an item or give you a couple items, and then you get merit points for it.
So is that just where other players have been offed?
I don't think so.
I don't know if it might just be random or it might be something like that. I don't know because
I'm pretty sure it's just random.
Because one of them I was like in the first opening area and I retrieved one and it was giving me Ultra Balls. I'm like, I can't use Ultra Balls yet.
Yeah, no, because I did notice that on my map the other night that there's one that just says Ava's Lost Satchel. I was like, okay, I don't know what that is.
Yeah, I saw them. Yeah, if you go pick it up, you just start accumulating merit points, but you got to do a lot of them to get enough merit points to afford anything. Because it's like, I think like some of the specialty items were like 2,000 or something merit
some
points.
of them are really expensive.
Which it's not that you don't get a decent amount. Like I was getting like 50 or so per satchel, but they don't show up super often.
Gotcha.
Or like I've recovered 3, and then like there's 2 more on my map. I'm like,
so it's going to be a grind.
It's like this will take a little while. Eventually, it'll just happen, but unless I'm actively searching these out when they show up, it'll just take a while. But yeah, I don't know if there's any other way to get merit points or anything.
Satchels are, in fact, from when players that died.
Called it.
Yep. Which that's a nice little touch. I think they included something like that in Sword and Shield. Whenever you connect online, you can go around and pick stuff up off the ground.
See, the reason why I thought that was because of Shadow of Mordor, the revenge missions.
Yeah.
I think it just I think the satchels just give them generic names like that because all of mine have been like Ava, Annie, or something like that.
It's not something like XXX Terminator X_X.
Yeah, it's been definitely like that. So that's why I thought it was just people like just generic stuff, whatever.
Yeah, because I've encountered the same name like 3 times now.
Okay.
That'd be very more entertaining just seeing random people's actual usernames.
Yeah, maybe it is just like generic, like built-in game names, that they had set up. But obviously now we know what it is, but they're just not putting the actual usernames. And also, before I lose this this train of thought here, one thing to also add on with your question about the Crobat evolution, one thing that is very interesting about this game is that this game it is fully and truly built for a single-player experience.
Oh, yeah.
Because all of the normal evolutions that we've come to know throughout history that involve trading, you don't trade to get them anymore.
I was wondering that. Thank God.
Yeah, like if you want to get a Scizor, just all you have to do is give Scyther the metal coat as if he's going to eat it. Because keep in mind, there's no held items, so you can't trade.
Yeah, I did notice that. Also, you're mentioning about the special items in the merit shop. I did remember the distortion events. I don't know if you've encountered those yet. You may not have encountered those yet.
I mean, I know the distortion crab's part of the Sinnoh region because of...
They'll be...
Giratina.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get further along, there'll be like distortion events. Where on them, it'll say like, you'll see a message pop up like a distortion zone is showing up. And if you open up the map, you'll see like a circle on the map. And if you go there when it forms, rare Pokemon or like basically rare Pokemon will show up, and then items will start populating in there. Because I went to one.
So this is the reason why Team Galaxy became crazy.
Yes.
I would assume so, yeah. We'll find out.
No, we won't.
But yeah, because
Assuming we will.
a couple of the items, like in the one I was in, it was like, I forget what they're called, but the items that you would have to, I think they're the ones you would use to make like electivire and magmortar.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Nope, don't got it.
I know what items you're talking about. I don't remember what they're called.
Yeah, like the magnetizer or whatever.
Magnetizer and I
don't know what the other one is, but it's like I found those in there, and then I noticed those were in the merit shop as well.
Okay.
So you can find them besides just the merit shop. Gotcha.
Yeah, you can find them because in those zones it's rare mons, and then items pop in because there are a bunch of just like green and blue plates on the ground that I was picking up that I think are just used for crafting. Speaking of that, how do you guys like the crafting?
I actually like it. I actually like that system.
I mean, it's fairly simple. There's not a whole lot of hassle, so I mean, I'm okay with it.
I think it's a nice touch, especially it's a nice touch because it really helps deliver the era that we're in, that's what's nice about it.
I like it because especially when you're just kind of wandering around, you don't really have a moment where you're like, oh shit, I'm out of balls, or I don't have the healing or anything like that. Because if you don't have it, you can
just make it.
Just walk that way, and you'll find the ingredients for it.
Bingo.
Because I've made hundreds of balls at this point.
Oh, same.
Yep.
I've made hundreds of them and used them and keep making them. The only thing I'm low on is medical herbs, which also I didn't know this for the longest time. Probably like 8 of the 9 hours I've played. There's a farm in town.
Yeah.
You can grow stuff there.
Yeah.
I didn't know
what?
that.
I didn't know that either.
You can go
I
to
literally looked them out the first time it let me, and I saw a farm. I was like, oh, cool.
Yeah, you can. I found it out because you can expand it later,
Yeah.
and I did missions for expanding it, and then they're like, you can grow more crops here now, and I went, I can grow crops here.
Oh,
Well, yeah, you can request like apricorns,
Yeah,
medical
okay.
supplies.
Okay.
You can start farming as soon as it allows you to walk on. The first 2 options are apricorns and medicinal herbs.
So I've started any time that's ready. I'm going to do medicinals because I'm blowing through that more than anything else.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Yeah, you blow through some potions quick.
The potions aren't too bad. It's when you start getting some of the other recipes that require
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 of the medicinal herbs at a time.
Yep.
Yeah, because it'll be like potions or upgrading the potions.
Revives.
Yeah, revives are the big one for me right now. Because it's like I'm been running around trying to challenge some of the alphas higher level than me and stuff. And man, it's rough because they will fuck you up quick.
Yeah, they don't play around. One thing that I'm also hoping for is I'm hoping to see some like because like you've already said, the nobles are very tedious. I've only done one. It was very dumb for me personally.
The second one's nothing like the first one.
All right, well, thank God. Well, one thing that I'm gonna hope for later is that when we get some like better some of the legendary Pokemon, like better battles with them, because I know at least one is actually apparently a very good battle, which is Darkrai. Darkrai is actually a very good battle, is what I've kind of seen online. But it's the same thing for like any of the others that are going to be in the game, because Dialga and Palkia is in it, Giratina, pretty much all the Sinnoh legendary. I mean, literally everything in the Sinnoh Dex is in this game.
I also want to call out Oak as a plagiarizer.
Yeah, good point.
Because up until this game, it's always been referenced that Oak was the first person to start a Pokedex.
That is true.
And then we have this weird guy who's just like, I'm going to make a Pokedex on paper.
Got to start somewhere. And then Oak's just like, all right, I'm going to take this idea.
Throw it on this little handheld thing.
All right, cool. My idea.
Oak just found the one copy of the guy's research notes and went, I'm going to make so much money.
Yep. But one thing that I want to come back to, just because I do think it's such a nice feeling where it's just so much different. Where this game, like I already said, it is truly built to be a single player experience, because like you don't have to trade with anyone. Every Pokemon in this game you get in this game, including the starters that you don't pick. Mm-hmm. Now for those starters that you didn't pick, apparently, to my understanding, those are very late in the game. For the Sinnoh starters, because this is obviously the beginnings of the Sinnoh region, they're Apparently, Chimchar is found very early. John and I just found
I was
out.
gonna say I have them on for
Yeah,
now.
exactly. John and I just found this out that apparently Chimchar can be found very early. Did not know that. That is a nice feeling of where it's just like, this is truly a single player experience, and everything with the game is here in the game, just for you to jump into and just dump a stupid amount of hours, which when it comes to just everything that you do in the game, like building the Pokedex, doing all the different tasks and stuff, it's almost crazy how addictive it can be, and you don't even realize how much time passes as you're doing it, because it's just so addictive just running around a single zone just trying to complete different tasks in your Pokedex per Pokemon entry to get to level 10.
I'll say, kind of to add on to that, it's one of those where it's like, oh, I've kind of hit the point where with some of them where I'm like, Pokedex stuff, I'll come back and finish some of the deck stuff out. I know where all of you are. I can come do this. I can come do this in a little bit. But at the same time, if I'm like walking, like just kind of walking around, or like I'm like, oh, I'm gonna grab these things right here. If I turn around and I see like there's a Mon like relatively close to me with his back turned, my brain goes, well, you got to get the backstrike in.
I gotta hit you on the back of the head.
Which, have you guys actually tried to use heavy balls yet?
Yes.
I've got them,
Those
but I
things.
haven't used
Those
them.
things fucking
It's
suck.
fucking stupid.
They fucking suck.
I know you can't throw them far, right?
You know your distance of throwing a regular Pokeball?
You can't throw them at all.
Your distance of throwing a regular Pokeball, cut that down by a third. You got a third the distance to work with.
That is stupid. There's a decent amount of balls in the game, too.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got 6. I've unlocked my 5th one, and then I was given an Ultra Ball for finding a satchel.
See, my thing is, I was very surprised by Pokeballs and whatnot, because I assumed there was going to be a hoarder, but when the professor's like, hey, help me catch these 3 Pokemon. Here's 50 Pokeballs.
He gave me 50, and I went, God damn! Even when it gets to like where he actually gives you some,
It's 20.
he gives you 20, and I'm like, God damn, man! They used to hold these things hostage.
I was about to say, used to. They give me like 5 and be like, good luck, kid.
You must have really had no faith in you to give you 50.
I mean, he gave me 50, and I went, I'm going to become LeBron of Pokemon catching.
Well, it's like, I mean, that idea of that you just said of like he had no faith in you kind of makes sense in the way it's presented, because
that is true.
Because when you catch the 3 of them and you get back to town and he tells them, he's like, yeah, you caught all 3 of them. Everybody goes, what the fuck? Nobody's ever caught 3.
In one expedition, we barely catch 1.
Yeah, it's
Fucking scrubs.
It's like one of the first people you encounter. She's like, you caught all 3 of them? I got fucked up by a Shinx.
Oh, yeah, Akari.
Yeah, Akari.
And then her Pikachu hates her.
Yeah. I've seen some people post up on Twitter that it's just like the canon way to play this game is to play as Lucas and have Akari be your rival just because of her facial expressions the entire time. Her facial expressions are really funny. I will say that. I like Akari. She cracks me up with the facial expressions of the game. One thing I do also want to add on, because obviously one of the big things about Pokemon, of course, is shiny Pokemon. The two main shiny hunting methods in this game is going to be the distortion areas and then mass outbreaks. I don't know the exact odds. I don't, because I'm not a shiny hunter, so I don't live and breathe by that shit like Josh, for example, who wastes his entire time hunting down shiny Pokemon.
Can you get a starting shiny in this game?
No, it's locked.
Okay.
Which, thank God, I would feel. I wouldn't feel bad because it's just like you're inflicting this upon yourself. At the same time, just imagine all the gamers that'd be sit there determined to get a shiny starter and not get to play the game.
That opening cinematic's long in this one too.
Yeah, because I mean, like with Brilliant Diamond, with Brilliant Diamond, Shining Pearl, whatever. Like obviously those starters are not locked, and the amount of players that was just stuck there at the beginning. Because the problem is, unlike previous Pokemon games, like pretty much any Pokemon game, you can open the bag until when they're shiny.
Yeah.
No, you got to get into battle in BDSP. You have to wait until you're in battle to see if they're going to be shiny, and it's just long. But no, thankfully they are locked. But no, so I don't know the exact odds or anything, but like I do know there are increased odds for the mass outbreak and like the distortion. I don't know. I'm not going to comment on the distortion stuff. I don't know much about it right now besides the increased odds. But for the mass outbreak, pretty much once you get a mass outbreak, right? You save it whatever camp you are in the region. You go to the mass outbreak, and you can essentially just farm a shiny, essentially, for whatever that outbreak is. So I actually got a shiny, literally my first outbreak that I went to go see earlier, which was Kricketot, unfortunately. So I really don't care. But
or you can just play the game and naturally have shinies like I do.
Yep, he had a full odd shiny, which also shout out to that. I've only had like one full odd shiny in my entire life.
Oh, I have consistently had a full odd shiny in every first playthrough of a Pokemon game since Gen 4.
Yeah, can't relate to that. I've only had one full odds my entire life.
I think it was Gen 7. I came and showed it to you when I got it because it was a shiny Beldum.
Yep. For me, it was a shiny Wooper. It was on the Isle of Armor. Because, you guys remember how, the Pokemon spawn in the wild area or whatever? They just kind of, kind of pop up. I happened to drive over with my bike, right over.
Why'd you run him over?
He just spawned.
You animal.
I didn't even see him. That's the thing.
Animal.
I literally did not see him. He spawned as I was going over that spot. So it's just all of a sudden I'm in a battle and I'm like, what the fuck? And Josh was sitting right there with me. It was fucking shiny. And I'm just like, you gotta be shitting me. But no, with the outbreak area or whatever, once you have your outbreak save, go and play it, and you can pretty much just sit there and continuously do that single outbreak, because as you catch whatever's there, more will spawn until the outbreak ends up going away, and then just kind of reload, kind of do the process. But once you see the shiny, immediately save, because every single time it will be shiny, which is one thing that makes it a lot easier for shiny hunting in this game, is that it's not going to be completely random, where it's if you get it and it runs away, it's just well, fuck, there went the shiny forever. No, as long as you save, the game has it predetermined that that's what's going to be there. So once you load back in, it's still going to be shiny walking around, and you can try to catch it. So that makes it easier for shiny hunting, at least, which is still something that I absolutely despise, but makes it easier. So I'm actually trying to do a little bit of shiny hunting, just a little. I'm not going to be like Josh, dedicate my entire life to it.
No. I'm kind of if it happens, it happens. If I get one, cool.
See, people started saying shiny, and went, what the hell are you talking about?
It's just the color variation.
Yeah, because I stopped messing with Pokemon consistently before shinies was a thing.
That's not true.
The only shiny
they've always been a thing. It's just in the old, especially in Gen 1, you wouldn't know it was a shiny until you imported it to the second game.
Oh, okay.
And they were in the second game.
I was about to say, the only shiny I ever knew of was Red Gyarados.
Yeah, they've been in every Pokemon game.
Yeah, you could technically get a shiny in Gen 1, because if it rolled shiny, you just wouldn't know until you traded it up.
Mm-hmm. And then they became more of a prominent thing in Gold and Silver.
As far as I'm aware, shinies didn't exist.
They existed.
I said, as far as I'm aware, they can exist, but as far as I was aware, they didn't exist.
But yeah, no, some of them are cool, some of them aren't.
True.
The one I got was a Carnivine. I mean, it is what it is. I'll keep it.
Yeah, just cool, I got one. Nice. No, there's a couple that I would hunt, but
you'll know if one pops up, even if you're not sure what the original color or what the variation is supposed to be.
Because it just looks really fucking weird?
No, because it'll have, when it spawns in and is walking around, it'll have all these sparkles going around it.
Yeah. No, so it is, you can see it from a distance as well. You are very, very clear that there is a shiny. Because how I saw my Kricketot coming up on the outbreak, I was still pretty far away, and I saw the sparkles. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me.
Yeah, because I was just riding through and was about to turn off to go on a different path, and I saw it pop up, and I went, oh, we might as well catch that real quick.
Well, boys, any other thoughts that you want to throw out there involving the game? We're still very early, especially you, with only 3 hours in, but do we want to give an initial first impressions kind of rating, or do we want to hold off for now? Because my first impressions, I would probably give it, as of now, maybe an 8 out of 10. We'll see how it continues to go for me.
I don't necessarily have a great first impression score to give it. What I will say is, if you were hesitant about it because you weren't sure, because one thing I will say about this game that we didn't really touch on, trainer battles are few and far between.
That is very true.
This game is not about trainer battling.
No, not in the least.
So if you're much more of a fan of battling in Pokemon games or like going through doing the typical gym challenge Elite Four. This game is not that. This game is run around a field and catch Pokemon. And I would say I recommend the game. I would say to get it if you were hesitant on it and kind of looking at it now and thinking, maybe I want to get it, I'd give it a try. There's no harm in it. It's a fun game.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you, John. I've enjoyed this one more than the past couple just because it's just me free roaming, just messing with Pokemon versus having to mess with trainer battles.
Yeah, I will say this game compared to Sword and Shield at the 9-hour point, I'm having a lot more fun in this game.
I can agree to that.
This game is a lot more fun because I'm not being railroaded in a direction. It's like, yeah, there's a story there, or like there's a main mission to follow, but I only have to do that when I'm reaching the level cap that I'm at for right now.
Yeah.
Other than that, or if I want to go to the next zone, I have to do that. But if I don't want to do that, if I want to run around and just catch Pokemon and explore, I can.
And to also piggyback on what John is saying about, go out and try it, whatever. If you're a Pokemon fan and you've been kind of hesitant about this for, fair reasons, because like I've already said, this is a definite change of pace for Game Freak. I definitely think give it a shot because at the very least, what you will see out of this game is you will see an incredible first step in the right direction for what is going to be an absolutely phenomenal Pokemon game to come, which is the main thing to take away, from this. Because that's what I've always continued to say about Breath of the Wild, is that it's a phenomenal game. I just don't think it's the best Zelda game. But I do think it's an incredible foundation to help take us to the best Zelda game. And that's kind of how I feel about Legends here, is I feel like this is an amazing foundation to take us to higher levels for what could be like the next Legends style game. Because to my understanding, we're going to essentially kind of get 3 different kinds of Pokemon games over time, where it's like you could get like these Legends games, your normal mainline stuff, as well as Let's Go games. That's to my understanding. Now we'll see if that ends up being true.
Bring back Rangers.
A lot of people would love to see that.
So I will say,
Conquest.
Kind of going off of that, I would love to see another one of these games. Just gonna throw that out there.
Sure.
But even for as knowing that there's a lot more for me to do in the game at this point, another game, like if they came out and said, hey, we're gonna make another one of these, it's gonna be bigger, it's gonna be more polished, I'm on board right away.
I mean, yeah, I agree to that.
Because
100%.
I'm a huge fan of this so far.
Yeah, the concept is absolutely phenomenal. Which is like, that's the biggest thing, is they knocked it out of the park for what they're trying to deliver to us for future installments. So I mean, I would love to see another one. It's like the question is like, if they're going to do another Legends, is it going to be the same thing where it's just like, you're going to be like in a past version of a region? Because if so, what about Unova?
Which one's Unova?
Gen 5.
Okay.
Yeah, the next in line to essentially get remakes. So maybe have a Legends, whatever. I'm trying to remember what it could be called. It doesn't really matter. But, that would be a very interesting region to explore in like a past tense. But, this is a good foundation for what's to come for future Pokemon games. And maybe this style be just Gen 9. Which is something that we've kind of talked about a little bit, and I've seen a lot of chatter about online where it's like this sort of style could actually just be Gen 9 whenever that's to come, potentially, next year or later this year. I'd probably say next year. That's my guess. I will say another thing. Apparently, we are going to get DLC for Legends.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm already down.
Yeah. We are.
You think it'll just be another region?
No. Based on the map that we have, there are a couple of... I don't know if they would actually pull something from Sinnoh and make that part of DLC, exploring some of the other islands that are around Sinnoh, or if they would just give us an entirely new large island that's completely brand new to the franchise to go explore. Because there's like the battle area in Sinnoh, which that's normally where Stark Mountain is, which is where you find Heatran. And then there's the Full Moon Island and the something else island where you find Cresselia and Darkrai, which obviously they're already in the game as is. So there's other islands surrounding Sinnoh that you can go to in the previous game. So maybe they do that. I'd probably put more money on they would just create an entirely new area that's new to the Pokemon franchise as a whole. And I don't know. Maybe by the end of it, it'll be some sort of wrap up where it's just like, what happened to it? Why is it not part of Sinnoh? Or I don't know. We'll see. But I say there's going to be DLC, and it's just because the one leaker who is 1,000% legit said that there's going to be DLC. I mean, he's literally not gotten a single thing wrong throughout this entire game. The Riddler, he openly said, yeah, there's DLC. We'll talk. We'll kind of tease more about it later on. The only teases that he did put out is he put up 2 character pictures. He put up Looker and I always forget his damn name, but Barry's dad from Gen 4, who was one of the Battle Frontier tycoons. I can't remember his name though, but he put up those 2 pictures and that he said that was his only hint, because that's all he does is just put up a bunch of damn riddles for everything. That's hence his name, of course, which Looker would be very interesting because I'm pretty sure it's kind of canon that Looker essentially just consistently time travels throughout multiple Pokemon games. Because I think Looker's first games was Black and White and then Black and White 2. And I think he also appeared in X and Y. I could be wrong on that. And he might have appeared in Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon. So this dude's hopping all over the place. So that would be a very interesting concept considering, we did time travel in this game. But that was the only riddle that he put out there for the DLC. We'll see more potentially in April, apparently, is the time range. I don't know if that means release or we'll see more, but all he said was April. So, no, I mean, he is a legit leaker, so I put 100% stake. He's not gotten a single thing wrong. I will say the only thing that I hate about him is he's fucking cringe as shit. He is so damn cringe to the point where it's like I almost don't want to follow him anymore. But his account's locked, so I know if I don't follow him, I'm fucked. And I don't get to see all the hints and stuff. But he's got a massive beef with Centro. Obviously we've all probably heard of Centro at some point, where every time he puts up some sort of hint, he ends his tweet with puppy, your meal is done now, with a little shit and a puppy emoji and stuff, referencing Centro. I'm just like, bro, this is cringe. No one else gives a shit about this. Can you please just stop? But other than that, he's got everything right leak wise. So DLC, that's gonna be pretty cool. It's just a matter of what's it gonna be. And if it'll be more than one DLC, kind of with Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
That's another thing to keep in mind, is going to be 2 DLCs, which maybe do the same process where you get, the first one in July and the second one, maybe a bigger one comes out in November, kind of like Crown Tundra, Isle of Arm or whatever. So that's something else to keep in mind. We'll see. But boys, any other thoughts you want to throw out there involving the game or anything else?
No, I don't got anything else.
We'll talk a little bit more about Legends next week as well, as we continue to get further into it and just kind of talk about our progress and, how our thoughts have continued to change, things we like, things we hate, et cetera. So we'll definitely talk about it more next week on, what's next week, 75? Yeah, 75. So we'll talk about more of that then. When does your Dynasty Warriors come out again?
15th.
Okay, so a couple weeks away on that one. What about Lost Ark? When does that drop for you?
First or second week.
Okay.
Sometime in there.
I know for 76, that's the one we'll be talking about Sifu. I know that one, so that's going to be pretty cool. Looking forward to that. All right, well, I suppose we can go ahead and get out of here. So I'll hit the music. We can send out last thoughts.
If you liked everything, you've been watching this YouTube, like, comment, subscribe, rate. Everything helps, whatever your platform allows. And on YouTube, hit that subscribe button and help us out. And if you actually want to know whenever we update a video, whether it be Game Static, Animan, Terrible Football, talk about moving stuff, hit the bell, and it will let you know. Thank you.
All right. If you've made it to the end with us here, thank you very much. And be sure to go check our website out. That's sparky3.com. And hopefully we'll see you next week where we continue to ramble on about more Pokemon.
That's very true. And most importantly, if you could, please go show us some support and check out the website. We've had this in the works for about the past month. Super excited to finally put it out there, sparky3.com. Central source of all of our content. Again, you can sign up to the website for free, completely free, forever. Get email notifications, access to special blogs, comment on the post, collect badges, etc. And if you're feeling pretty generous, you can throw $5 our way once a month and get access to early podcast episodes, behind the scenes, premium blog posts, premium channels of the Discord server. Join the Discord server. That's going to be linked down below as well. And like I said, for the first week, Monday to Monday, we will have the promo code launch on sparky3shop.com, which will give you 25% off on everything in the store. So go pick something up. We'd appreciate that. We do have more designs coming. I've got at least like 3 or 4 that I'm getting ready to put on the site, probably in the next couple weeks, that I'm currently working on right now. So that's going to be pretty dope, including Terrible Football Show stuff. I know there's a couple of people that I know personally that would want some Terrible Football Show merch, so that it is coming, I promise. Just give us a couple weeks, and once it comes a couple weeks, you'll see why we had to wait on it and didn't put it on the launch for the website. But until next time, guys, have a good one. See ya.
Bye.